Had a decent crash here a couple of seasons ago, so Bears excited to return and loving the challenge. The Carl Cox Motorsport bike on pole. Next to him, the Kiwi Bike Insurance, Penrite Oils, Mobility Wire Wrapper Machine of Spike Taylor and Kendall Dunlop. These two have had some great battles all over the summer. No defending championship pairing of Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose, so we're going to have a changing of the guard in our championship as we wait for the lights to come on here. Formula 1 and Formula 2 sidecars ready to get underway. Their 8-lap race here and a great start from Spike and Kendall. That is the jump there. Peter Dowman goes up the inside of both pairings in a beautiful move. As we see the first of the F2 machines that are breaking hard into turn 1, but it will be Barry and Stu into turn 1. We're absolutely electric here, not too far off lap record pace when we went qualifying. They were certainly the pairing that lit this place up this morning, Neil, and look at them already down the Wave Coast straight. This is a rejuvenated Barry Smith and Stu Dorr getting their campaign back on track.
Man, I have seen some starts in my time at a motorcycle event that would have to be one for absolute gold. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, look, so they might be well back there at the moment, of course, because they're only an F2 chair and the F1s will take the advantage. The tiny little 600cc powered unit, of course, are much smaller in size as well, but the start they got, the haul they got off the line, there was a little bit of a gap and they went for a gap. Now, I can understand a two-wheel bike taking a gap like that, but a sidecar, he just slithered through there. I tell you what, there's some peanut butter on the side of that thing. It was super smooth as it found the gap and went through. They had it for about half the length of the front straight before the powers of those big 1000cc powered F1 sidecars took the advantage, but that was super silky, absolutely brilliant. Check it out, folks. It's the awesome number 55 to look for. So loving every part of that. Man, and man, can we see more of that kind of racing? That was liquid lightning, as I say. They will be on the front foot, I'm sure, as far as sidecars are concerned. So check it out, the 55 for Peter and Michael that we've got down there at the moment. So go for it, guys.
All right, into the Signbiz dipper for the first time. Barry Smith and Stu Dorr have now been hunted down. We've got Spike and Kendall right there in second place now, and also Bird coming along for the ride as well. So there's a genuine three-way fight as we head into the sweeper. Then you go back in fourth place in the race. That will be that F2 pairing of Peter and Michael Dowman all the way from Wanganui. I've done a lot of riding this year, and including a lot of classic meetings as well, so great to have the Dowmans here. We've got a father-son duo of Peter and Michael. We've got the brother-sister combo of James and Lucy out there. So the Dowman family well represented here in our New Zealand Sidecar Championships for Formula 1 and Formula 2, but Barry Smith and Stu Dorr have certainly turned up to play here. We've got the 17 of Spike Taylor and Kendall Dunlop, and then how good's this from Bird? He's on fire here, right in the mix of the top three here, Neil.
Oh, this is sensational from the man himself. I see he lists in the program that he comes from Kiripuni. Now go and do you a bit of a Google Maps here, folks, and see that's like saying that you come from Fendleton. You know what I mean? He's trying to say he's coming from somewhere where he ain't really coming from. He's only coming from Marston, after all. I'm never going to give Marston a hard time. I love the place, but I just love that because, of course, he is at home at Kiripuni. There's nothing wrong with that, but for the people outside, they've got to go and do a Google Map thinking, where's that on me map? It's an area, a beautiful part of Marston in the lovely Wairarapa. So there we go. We're there for the Wairarapa Champs just a month and a half ago. Great part of the country, and good to see that it's still got a great sidecar tradition through there for many good years, starting, of course, with the likes of Howard Gregory is just one of the names that you want to add to it when you talk about racing in the Wairarapa sidecars. And keep picking about two wheels, of course, the home of none other than Aaron Slight, one of our greatest of all time. So love the Wairarapa, and what a unique part it's got. Two of those top three are coming out of the Wairarapa, those Team Kiwi Kiwi Bike Insurance sidecars. But I tell you what, Barry's onto it here at the moment. What a fantastic victory, of course, he had on Boxing Day as well at Wanganui. He had the greatest Boxing Day, arguably, of anybody else. Why? Because he got to race two different motorsport events on the same day. There was only one other that did that, so well done to Barry. And that was, he went Boxing Day racing at Wanganui, went back home to his Manawatu base, just an hour down the road, and then he went to the AFC Motorcycles Manawatu Speedway Sidecar Championships that night. So he was on three wheels all day with two completely different events. Nearly got caught for a little bit of fast tracking between those two cities, but he pulled it off with a fantastic double header by doing racing at two completely different events. What a sidecar legend he is, Brad.
Absolutely, and long time passenger now. In a couple of seasons, they were a championship pairing a couple of seasons ago with Stu Dorr on the back. He's taken time off his boat building excellence to jump on the back of that Carl Cox Motorsport long bike. So fabulous to have that pairing out in front. Absolutely electric with Spike Taylor, Kendall Dunlop. Of course, Kendall, she's a former New Zealand Sidecar Championship passenger on the back of Pete the Pirate Roberts machine, and now right at home with Spike, what you could only call a sidecar racing legend in New Zealand. He's there in second place, and then you got Michael and Isaac. So you got a great trio out in front. You go back to fourth place, which is a lonely ride for Peter and Michael Dowman. They are there on the first of the F2 machines. Then you go back to Dave and Sue on that beautiful Mo Halley machine. That's from about the mid-80s, so that is a spectacular looking machine. And then look out for James and Lucy Dowman bringing home our top six. So only 6 competitors out there, Neil, but certainly take nothing away from the racing. This is absolutely on here, and we've got still a massive 5 laps to go when they cross the line.
Right, let's take the consideration here as well, because in the last, I think, 7 years, we've had 5 different winning sidecar combos. That's how cool the sport has been. And I'm not talking about the split between F1 and F2. I'm just meaning the F1's alone. You can, of course, add to that the reigning champions, the NZ #1 Adam Unsworth, not with us this weekend. Then you want to add to that, of course, the likes of Andy Scrivener. You can put into that as well. What about if we go back a little bit further? We'll put in the Lawrence brothers, who turned up at Wanganui to do racing as well. So there's a massive amount of quality speedway talent. You mentioned Pete the Pirate, as we nickname him, the enjoyable Pom himself, Mr. Pete Goodwin, when he had Kendall swinging on board for him, and Pete the Pirate, his LCR machinery as well is above and beyond. So there's just 5 of those combos we've had in the last 7 years that have all been NZ #1 in sidecar racing. And certainly here in the South Island, where you don't see as much sidecar racing as they do in the north, I firmly encourage you to go pit side. Go and check out these machines, because they are absolutely brilliant. The LCR, the Lewis Christensen Racing, this, I tell you what, it's got more pop rivets than a 737 plane, and you'll get a real idea of how the fibre technology and how the modular technology has come together to make them an unbelievable bike. Take that fiberglass shell off and look at the technology that goes on inside them to see what a truly great machine they are. And of course, you just lock in your favourite engine. Is it a Kawasaki? Is it a Suzuki? Is it a Honda? Is it a Yamaha? Is it the Aprilia in the case of the current NZ #1? So you can see a beautiful motorcycle slotted in those machines. F1, F2, what's the difference? Significantly, the position of the engine is different. The position of the swinger is different. The size of them all up is different. And of course, there is the CC capacity as well. So if you saw a 600 and 1000 cc bike side by side, there is often very little differences that you can look at. Like, it's hard to even see the size difference of the engine, or the fact that so many of the things look the same. But an F1 and an F2 sidecar engine are different size-wise, but more importantly, the size of the entire machine. And if you have a focus on these top 3 out here, it'll give you an idea that they're F1 units. But then take a look at the likes of 55 for the father and son combo, Pete and Michael Dowman. It'll give you an idea of where they go. Now, just see where the swinger is. That's the first part, to see significantly where they are further back. So if you have a look at these, you've got your mid-engined machine compared to the rear engine of what you see with the others. So a little bit about them, and our encouragement is for you to go trackside and to see the pits and see the machinery that's lined up here.
And if you do get excited about the three-wheel excitement, it is at Moore Park tonight, the New Zealand Grand Prix for Speedway sidecar racing as well. So that's not to be missed. You'll definitely see Barry and Stu there. They're definitely very, very excited, Baz. Now, a full-on Speedway sidecar competitor with super son-in-law Blair Meyer, a Manawatu Orion motocross legend. And it's good to have Baz still finding time on that Carl Cox Motorsport long bike out there at the moment. So he's got a decent buffer now, 7.5 seconds over Spike and Kendall in second place. Then you go back to Bert. Good pace here from Bert this week, and he's turned up to play in the South Island. Him and Isaac there in third place. And then you go back, Peter and Dowman a further 29 seconds back there in fourth place, with Dave and Sue there in fifth, and James and Lucy running at our top 6. So cool racing here in our Motorcycling Canterbury supported sidecars, and good to see Barry, Smith and Stu Dorr back in the front of New Zealand Sidecar Championship racing. They're going to be in the week off in between these 2 South Island rounds. The Carl Cox Motorsport Mini Golf Championship up for grabs again, so look out for that one. We follow them on social media, so I know the likes of Tracy and Joe not with the team here on the South Island leg, so that golf championship well and truly wide open here, as we've got 3 laps to go. Race 1 for the weekend for our New Zealand Sidecar Championship. Barry, Smith and Stu Dorr are continuing to turn the screws. Another very, very rapid quick lap time, and Spike and Kendall are trying desperately to hang on here, Neil.
Well, you've effectively only got 1 South Island sorry, my apologies, correction. 2 South Island combos in all of the racing, with most of them being the North Island visitors. colours, and that's why Motorcycling Canterbury have got behind it, because they actually want to see more sidecar combos, and it would take probably another 2, 3 or 5 would be optimum if we could get about another 5 South Island chairs to be able to make some more competitive racing. You know, it's one of those things people saying, oh, but there's just not enough competitors. Why would we build a sidecar? Why do you buy a sidecar and bring one from the north to south? Man, imagine getting an LCR would be the catalyst to see an LCR here in Canterbury, and maybe a few others want to join them. So thank you to Motorcycling Canterbury for actually sponsoring the sidecar, so the club themselves that are host the event are actually supporting and having the sidecars down here. And the sidecar family is beautiful, and I say that absolutely beautiful. Some great people that are just fun lovers of our sport to the highest calibre. So thanks to Motorcycling Canterbury. We've got the Trevor Pierce Yamaha Have a Go Days coming up Sunday, Jan 21. That's only literally a couple of weeks away, and also then Sunday, April 13 for the two of them. More details, of course, at mci.net.nz, but basically, bring your bike out and have a test for it. It can be a road bike, can be a non-road bike, as long as it's a road bike. Of course, gear's available except a helmet. You will need to have your own quality helmet. If you haven't got one, you can go to Mega Motorcycle Centre and kit yourself out with a awesome safe helmet. Talk to the team there about what's the best helmet for you. Yeah, you can say, I got a helmet for $299. Well, is that your $299 head that you were protecting, or is it just something else? So a quality helmet worthwhile paying a little bit more for if you're going to come to a race meeting. So once you've got a safe helmet, you can borrow some gear, or you can talk to somebody else about loaning some gear. You can actually come to Have a Go Day, for example, and you might have a friend who's riding in another class by the ability of the day, and you could be sharing the leathers and the boots with them, and then realise afterwards, I had a whole lot of fun. I'd like to give it a go. More than that, and finding out that available on Trade Me or Marketplace or through the club, you can buy some second-hand apparel as well. So you don't have to pay mega bucks. In this day and age anyway, the apparel is way more affordable than it used to be, and particularly if you go back a decade to, first of all, get a helmet was around $1,000, and leather's probably closer to $3,000, a huge amount of money. You do it now for under $1,000 to have some helmet and some leathers as well. So take an opportunity to check it out, get some quality gear, and come and have some fun at the best sport in the world. We love it, you will as well. Motorcycling Canterbury Have a Go Day coming up.
All right, starting to get down to the business end of this one here. About a lap and a half to go for former New Zealand Championship pairing Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. They are out of the Christchurch Casino Carousel and on rapid pace. They've been lapping consistently in the 142s all race long. So this has been some kind of show from this dynamic Carl Cox Motorsport long bike. Of course, this bike here, I talked to Baz this morning, and the same bike that he had the decent crash on here at Ruapuna a couple of seasons ago. So great to see Baz back here. Just loves the track here, having a good time this weekend. And it's a family-friendly atmosphere. Can't wait to catch up with the legend, Carl Cox, and all he does for New Zealand motorsport. He's back playing shows in early February, so if you're into Carl Cox, the legend himself, he will be set to excite and delight New Zealand fans all summer long. So out of the final corner and down the front straight to get the white flag. 1 lap now to go. For the 73, Barry Smith and Stu Dorr still there in second place on the Penrite Kiwi Bike Insurance Mobility Wire Wrapper outfit. Spike Taylor doing the riding, Kendall Dunlop doing the passengering for that multi-time championship pairing. And then you go back to Bert, Michael Walland, Isaac Taylor doing the passengering there. They are sitting there in third place. So this is going to be an excited Bert if he can hang on for another lap. He's got a podium position ready to rock and roll. And then you go back to Peter and Michael Dowman. They are the first of the F2 machines out there. And then you go to Dave and Sue on that beautiful Mo Halley built Yamaha F1 rig. That there in fifth place. We go back to James and Lucy Dowman, still unchanged in sixth place. So your 6 runners in race 1 of round 3 of the New Zealand Sidecar Championships. It has been an absolute flawless performance so far from the 73s and the Fulton Hogan S's for the final time here. We've got a couple of feature-length races on the program tomorrow for our sidecars, including, of course, the big one, the 12-lap race for the New Zealand F1 and F2 Sidecar Grand Prix. So, there's going to be some excitement building with the sidecar paddock. Welcome back to the sidecar paddock in the South Island. We're going to see them again at Levels next weekend. Can't wait for that one. Sidecars around Levels is absolutely breathtaking. So if you are thinking about coming, you will not be disappointed. So a quarter of a lap to go for this pairing here. They have not put a foot wrong, so we ride alongside our former championship pairing. This is going to feel pretty good. No defending champions this weekend, Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose. They've been pretty good in the North Island, but not making the trip down south, so that has left it all to this dynamic duo. Barry Smith and Stu Dorr in the final corner. The big sweeper here at Ruapuna. They're going to come out onto the front straight, and I'm getting pretty excited about this one here. As sidecars are back in the South Island, it's all been kicked off. Of Barry Smith and Stu Dorr, they're going to run away and win here For race one of their weekend, we've got Spike and Kendall still there in second place, and we've got Bert and Isaac rounding out our top three. So what a fantastic podium you've got on your hands here, Neil, with some absolute legends to interview.
Oh, mate, I'm going to look forward to this, absolutely. And Barry finally starting to sort things out after a few little hiccups away in the early stage of racing. But that one-off victory that he was able to steal at Cemetery Circuit back on Boxing Day was absolutely superb. In fact, the only victory he had in the entire Suzuki Series when you add the, 8 races, 3 from round 1, Taupo, 3 from round 2, Manfield, and in the end, as we had at the 2 at Cemetery Circuit, and that first race at the Cemetery that he won and man held a line. I tell you what, he made himself look like a Mack truck as he was holding out the numbers 1 NZ, and the boys thoroughly deserve it. Hey, when you had the break from the line, when you had the power, when you had the toe, when you had the cornering ability, just didn't have the all-out speed that the Aprilia-powered F1 rig had of Adam. It was great to see him hold on. Of course, Adam got his revenge and got that win later on. Didn't make any difference the overall. Adam had smoked them up to have won what was in the end 7 out of those 8 events. So here we are with our podium, and let's see if we can get our F3 boys to come up here as well. We'll be, sorry, my apologies, F2 boys, get that one right, Neil, in amongst them for the combo. So bring it on with Motorcycling Canterbury Sidecar Racing.
All right, and that reminder on the program that we are going to go to the next event will be our full 10-lap rerun of the Superbike race that got red flagged earlier before this one. So the update for the fans, a bit of excitement, is a full restart of our 10-lap Superbike feature on the Saturday here, as Neil's going to cross down very shortly and wrap up our F1 and F2 sidecar podiums. But yeah, coming up next, Casbolt Motorcycles supported Superbike and Formula Sport F1 10-lap full restart coming up there. We've still got plenty of action still to come on our Super Saturday, as well as we've got our 600 Super Sport. That's going to be a brilliant 10-lapper coming up very shortly. We've got our Super Sport 300 and our Super Sport, our 250 production to round off our program. So we're going to go down to Neil, who will be in Parc Fermé, to catch up with Barry Smith and Stu Dorr, your race 1 winners in our sidecar category. Spike Taylor and Kendall Dunlop will be joining them, as well as Michael Wallen and Isaac Taylor. So that's a superstar-studded podium as we cross down to Neil. Cameras up there, boys. Hey, nice to be here at trackside at the moment with our sidecar podium. We just have another Air New Zealand monster hover above us. We're of course right on the flight path here for Christchurch International, and fantastic the day out here. First of all, Barry, back to winning. That's the first thing, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. That's what we came for. It's just a shame there wasn't more numbers, really. Obviously, it would have made the racing a lot nicer. But Spike chased us down for the first few laps there, and I kept looking at my pit board, and it was +2, so I knew he was still there. So, and then when it stretched out to +5, I thought I just time to back off a little bit and just cruise around. So, but it was, yeah, it went to plan, really. Not much else to say. It was, yeah.
So from the point of view of the once-a-year pilgrimage, what's it like to come as a visitor to this Euromark Motorsport Park?
I always enjoy coming down south. It's such a cruisy, relaxed atmosphere. All the sidecar boys all get together as well, and it's just a real nice place to come and race.
Nice words, Barry. Nice work, Stu. You've done plenty of years of swinging on behind the sidecars. Does it feel better to have a win? What's about doing all that hard work? Is the win really that good?
Yeah, that's right, Neil. You do all that hard work like all the other teams. The amount of work that goes into this is just horrific. So to get a win, or even on the podiums, it's all that effort paying off.
Well done, thank you. So Stu up there on the photo. Oh, jeepers, look at this. This is great. I'll tell you what. Well done. Yeah. It'd be a bit more dirt to match the dirt that he's got, mate. You'll never go that low. Always think of that. Isaac, first of all, what got you hooked on sidecars?
My father. I grew up coming to the track, so it was inevitable that I would be here. So yeah.
Oh, it sort of sounds like there's a bit of respect there, mate. We'll talk to you later. Well done. Yeah, cheers, Bert. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's great to be back, actually. Hey, first thing I want to do is thank that man at the end there. He makes it all possible for us to come here. Yeah. And thanks to all the officials and all that sort of shit. Without those guys, we don't have a meeting, so choice to them. And yeah, thanks to Baz and Stu. Good racing. So yeah, awesome.
Right, the only thing I'm disappointed is when you're on the racetrack, there's no mutton going on the spit back in the afterwards. So can you do both, please?
Well, we'll try.
Yeah. Thanks, Fair. Oh, this is lovely. Who's the best sidecar racer?
Mum and Dad.
Yeah, how's that? Mum said it. Well done. Woohoo! He got a mention. He's got a fan. There's a fan out there. Yeah. Okay, all right here. First of all, Spikey, back to this fantastic pace, Euro Park. Would you like it down here?
Yeah, she's hard work around there, of course. Lovely place, lovely people down here. Yeah, it's a good time. So it's just great coming down here to race with my mates here and all the mates that didn't make the podium as well. It's fantastic fun. Even Barry's cool too,
Even Barry's cool too, and we're just giving a bit of a wide berth here for Kendall at the moment. So come on, race supporters, here you go. How good is that group? Here. Well done today. So cool stuff. Coming up next, it's our Superbikes. We've changed the program around again. Well done, everybody.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Neil, for that. And big welcome back to the South Island, our sidecars. What a delight that was. Brilliant stuff from our competitors out there. We go now to a bit of excitement, the full restart, the full rerun of our 10-lap